The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 68 of the Daily Mother Swole. I am your host, Mark Swolberg. Abraham Lincoln is taking a vacation, and today we're talking about hump day, how yoga gets you humps. Yoga is going to get you that ass, those fucking booty gains that everyone wants. I'm going to explain how we got humps in the front, we got humps in the trunk. So I'm going to talk about how yoga will get you the front humps for guys and girls, and how yoga's gonna get you them rear humps for everyone, because everyone likes an ass, even ladies. So guys, don't skip leg day. Let's start with the top. Let's start with the top down. Yoga is fantastic. I'm not going to go into all the details of why yoga is so great. I've done a lot of shows on yoga. I'm going to continue doing shows on yoga, and I'm getting a lot of questions about yoga because I've been posting a lot more of that on my Instagram account at Swolenormous. A lot of pictures, a lot of motivation for yoga. I'm trying to push that a lot more because if you don't know already, I teach several yoga classes a week. Hot yoga, gravitational yoga, all different types of yoga. So I'm a huge yoga fanatic. Yoga creates balance. It creates balance. And aside from the mental, the spiritual, the internal benefits, it also creates balance with the body. So if you're looking to rehab, if you're looking to create so kind of like that seesaw effect, if you're trying to level out the body and create more balance muscularly, you need to practice yoga. And that takes care of your stretching. It takes care of all your compensations. You're strengthening weaker muscles. Instead of doing corrective exercise, honestly, really, you just mostly need yoga. That'll take care of everything. You don't have to think that much about it. That's why I promote it so much, because it covers it. So of course, if you do it properly. So with yoga, it creates balance. Most of us, from sitting at desks and computers and everything, we have upper cross syndrome, which means you're rounded, your head's jutting forward, and you have that extension cervically, and you look like, frickin' Sweeney Todd or someone that sounds like that name. I don't know if he had a hunchback. Yeah, Quasimodo action. Get the hunchback, you get the extended neck, the rounded shoulders. You lose a lot of chest space. And plus that posture, that poor posture, looks weak. It's a very meek look. So think about what a physique actually is. You don't necessarily have to be shredded. You don't have to be 8% body fat, but confidence. Confidence when you walk into a room. So if you come in all, yeah, how's everybody doing? That's what these old people look like today because they ain't grew up with fitness. They ain't grew up with a lot of movement. They sat down in offices selling insurance for 50 years. So if you are pulling your shoulders back, externally rotating the shoulder blades, if you're pulling the scapula back, you have a much more, look at the difference. Just, you can see the top half of my body on Periscope, on Busker, on YouTube. Look at the difference here. And then standing up straight. Your mom was right when she was saying sit up straight. You want posture. It shows confidence and it makes you feel better about yourself. So body language is the majority of communication, if you didn't know that. It's not words, and you know this. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's your body language when you say it. Okay? It's your body language when you say it. It's the intonation of how you say the words. You could say a word 20 different ways. It'll mean 20 different things depending on your facial expressions, how your body's positioned, and so it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. Same thing with your body. It relays confidence, and plus it stacks the muscles in the skeletal system properly so you don't add extra pain and other compensations. So stretch yoga, you'll stretch the front and it'll strengthen the back, it'll strengthen the rhomboids, the posterior rotator cuff, it'll strengthen all the muscles that you can't see in the mirror, which usually get really weak because people don't see them in the mirror, so they don't train them. Super important. So yoga works for the top humps. Also, on the bottom, your yoga humps on the bottom, the butt. Yoga has a lot of lunges, has a lot of stretching, has a lot of lengthening for the hamstrings, for the glutes, and most importantly for the hip flexors. I shouldn't say most importantly, but it strengthens the gluteus medius and maximus, which usually get weak because we're sitting down a lot. So we lose a lot of side to side frontal plane stability and also sagittal plane stability. So we lose stability in our hips because we're not moving through space a lot. We're sitting down. We're sedentary. So strengthening the side and strengthening the back. strength of side and strength of back, the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus are super important, and yoga will do that. It also will stretch the hip flexors in the front. And stretching the hip flexors in the front will improve your posture. It'll bring you more upright. And when you lengthen muscles that are tight and strengthen muscles that are weak, you open up more fibers that can create activity, which means more fibers that can grow in size. So if you have tight, short muscles, a lot of times those muscles you're losing fiber activity, you're losing strength, and you're also losing development in the tissue. So once you start doing yoga, you'll notice your physique actually changing. You'll notice your muscle belly's changing, your shape of your body will change. There's certain muscles will lengthen. You'll create more space in your spine, more space under your lats, in your hips, and muscles will change the way they look. My legs have gotten a lot more carved and a lot more shapely since I started practicing yoga. Not to mention more flexible, you recover better, and you just feel better. There's less internal tension because you're creating more length within the muscle tissue. So super, super important. Don't underestimate the impact of yoga, not just for the spiritual and for meditation, but for recovery, but for the muscle shape. To actually develop muscle, yoga is super, super important. If you had to choose one, honestly, yoga or weight training, I would have to say, I don't know. I think yoga might be more important than weights. If you had to choose one and only one. There are many different types of yoga. It really depends. They're so close. I mean, it depends on how you do your weight training, but if you had to pick one thing, most of health is, most of musculoskeletal health is stretching, is lengthening and flexibility, mobility. Because when you do yoga, you're strengthening those stabilizers. So you're creating tension around the joints. You're creating that security that's going to prevent injury in the long run. So blood flow, you're wringing out the organs. You're creating more, motility through the lymphatic system, through the circulatory system. The nervous system's getting massaged in a way with yoga. The breath, your body is relaxing. You're bringing down your heart rate. You're activating parasympathetic neurons and pathways. I know I'm talking a little bit over some of your heads with the technicalities, but in other words, in simple terms, yoga is super, super important. What I also want to talk about today is those of you that are looking to improve personally, on a personal level, check out Swolenormous Premium. I've talked about this before, and I, have these annotations in my YouTube videos, but Swolenormous Premium is my private Facebook group where we apply all this information from the Daily Swoles, all this information that I go over, all this information about diet, nutrition, strength training, program design is all in Swolenormous Premium. It's $4.99 a month. You can sign up on my website, swolenormous.com. It's a fantastic deal for the first 100 members. We are doing $4.99 per month for life. And it's yoga videos, it's strength training videos, it's stretching, accountability meetings once a week privately on Periscope. Yep, we got a lot of the premium members are here on Periscope. So totally cool. It's a total small knit, tight knit community. And there's a lot more material all the time. It's the accountability. So if you need that direction, it's like personal training, but in a group. So you get direct access to me, myself, and to everyone else that has a similar mindset. So it's a great way to make change, to get more lean, to lose a lot of weight, to just shred up and get the last six pack pop and tweak everything with your nutrition, strength training. But I always push yoga in that group. There's exclusive videos, and I've done yoga videos for the group. And I just want to reiterate that there is a way that you can learn how to apply all this information, and that's with Swolenormous Premium. So you'll see below on YouTube, or you could check out swolenormous.com. Also, my other media platforms, you could look me up on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, anything at Swolenormous. Okay? So, bottom line, yoga humps, your lovely yoga humps in the back and in the front. Make sure you do your yoga. If you haven't tried yoga, check it out. Try a couple classes, try some different types, experiment with it, practice it. It's a daily practice. It's something that you get better with over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So you have to keep the pressure up. Just like weight training, you have to do it regularly in order to see progress. But trust me, it's worth it. If you take anything that I say seriously, take this. Probably top 3 is to start doing yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 68, 68. Gotta keep practicing my Spanish, of the Daily Mother. Good crack. Swole. Gain trains leaving the station, going to Swole Lake City, Glutah, then Boston, Mass, and then I am going to head back down south to Gainesville, and then I'll stop in Jacksonville. Bam. If you were listening on the podcast, you just missed the flex of the century. Ooh, getting that nice little split there on my titties. Looking good. My lady lumps are looking good because I'm practicing yoga. And I did chest yesterday, so I'm inflamed. Anyhow, I'm just rambling. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see everyone tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time for episode 69. That's going to be a fun one of The Daily Swole. Peace out.